Behind me is a brand new BMW X5, and it came with some PPF protection on it from the dealership factory, not sure which, but it is only coming up about halfway. That means there's gonna be a line, and the new owner, she just doesn't want to have that. Also here on the fender, it just reaching it back to here. So what we're gonna do is remove this and then give her a full front protection. The whole hood will be done. The bumper was already done, so we're not going to be touching that. You know, one thing to keep in mind when your car is coming from the dealership with film is sometimes not a true 10-year protection is applied. I see this especially with Toyotas. Toyotas come in, they might be only 3 years old, and the film is already cracking, and then they say, I don't like film, when what really they don't like is low quality film. A true paint protection film is going to last you about 10 years. If you still own the car at that point, yes, you do want to take it off, remove it, put a new one on, but underneath that film, the paint is just like day one. It is pristine. And another reason to think about getting a full hood instead of a partial, besides the fact that you're going to have all this exposed, is you're not going to have any discoloration. This partial, sometimes on certain color and quality paints, this will be original, and this has weathered in our Texas sun, and you'll see a slight difference. You know, not only in sheen, but also sometimes this fades a little bit more. And we can buff it, we can make it go down. So I'm a big proponent of, if you're gonna protect your car because either you love it or it's just a high quality car, go ahead and do the whole thing. Don't just get this much protected from rock chips. Protect the whole thing. Don't give yourself half a headache, just get it all done. We'll document the process of what it takes to remove the film and then also install brand new top of the line. Today we're using STEC or STEC film. It is a high quality film and really just so far to date my absolute favorite. I just finished recording the intro video where I said that I was going to take you through the process of removing the film, and I went right away to taking it off. So here's how easy it is when your car is new to remove the film. I don't even need to use heat gun right now. One of the things I do want to do though is keep my hand pretty close to the lift line, and I'm not pulling away, but I'm pulling up. If I were to do this, it'll still come off, but I'm going to leave a lot of adhesive. And so we want to create the least amount of work for ourselves. And you notice I do want to keep moving my fingers very close to that lift line. Prevents it from ripping off. Also, I just don't want any adhesive if I don't have any. Now, if you do leave some adhesive, then there's some, any general adhesive remover should be safe to get it off. And it's extremely important that we get off any little bit of the sticky that's left on, because we're putting a new layer of film on here. The last thing we want is some little bumps. It'll look as if, it'll look like we have some debris in here. So next step, after we get all the film off, is to, I feel some right along that line. So you really want to inspect and make sure that there's no residue, adhesive residue left. I'm completely jumping ahead in the process here. At this point, I've already installed the film on the entire hood, but when I was looking closely at it, really closely, I could notice a few faint lines in the film. Now, most people would never see them, and the average driver, probably not, but this is how we operate. Those lines likely came from the film drying slightly during the install. It happens, and when we can see it, we fix it, even if it means pulling all the film up and going at it again. As you can see in the video, this is not easy, and you can see just how aggressive the tack is. The film was installed yesterday and it's gripping hard. That's not accidental. Do you remember how easily that original film from the dealership lifted at the beginning of the video? So that's the difference between a medium grade film and a high quality PPF. Better materials, better adhesive, better long-term protection. All right, we're gonna watch the second go round. So enjoy this, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of history or a little bit of background, just more information on more about film. So paint protection film is a multi-layer thermoplastic urethane. As you can see, it's flexible,
It's impact resistant and designed to absorb damage before your paint ever feels it. The install itself is done using a wet application. That's why you see me going back and forth with and reapplying a lot of water. This slip solution allows us or me to position the film precisely, followed by a controlled squeegee work to lock it down. And I'm sorry, this thing gets addictive to keep on watching as the film starts to glass out and basically like disappear. But we lock it down evenly, and that activates the adhesive. The focus during an excellent install isn't necessarily speed, it's alignment, tension control, adhesion, and edge finish. And so I spent a lot of time on this install, specifically making sure that the alignment was right and a lot of tension control. This hood, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it was extremely hard. Like from one side to the other, I could barely reach across to the middle. Excuse that video part where you can see between my shirt and pants. But yeah, this was a lot of hood. And given that it was a sedan, I sincerely did not expect that. All right, so we're nearing the end of the install, and you're gonna see me lifting up the edges a lot. I wanna make sure I get plenty of slip solution underneath that film. I don't want lines to happen, and I need that film to be floating on the surface for an excellent install. If you look around the edges, you're gonna see that the film is like hanging over. It got like kind of roughly, and that is because I am going to wrap these edges. That means that the film completely disappears into the panel edge. There'll be no visible lines, as you can see now here in the total after video. No visible lines, no cutoffs, and the film carries a 10-year warranty against yellowing, cracking, and failure, and it protects against rock chips, road debris, and daily abuse. On top of that, the film and the rest of the car is coated with a 7-year ceramic coating, and that adds gloss, hydrophobic behavior, making it easy to wash, and basically easier maintenance across the board. So we've known this customer for years. We even worked for her son in the past, supporting his business when he was just getting started. She recently lost her mother, and she's been going through a lot. So we went a little further than what we'd agreed on. The headlights that I just showed you are fully protected with PPF as well. And because, as you probably know, these German replacement parts, they don't come cheap. So it just took us a little bit of extra film product and a little bit of extra time to go above and beyond what she was expecting. Sometimes, you know, the job is it's not just about the car, but it's about taking care of people too. So here is the finished result. It's invisible protection, wrapped edges, long-term peace of mind, and that's how paint protection film is supposed to be done on a BMW or anything else worth protecting.